Good morning guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So straight over to the charts. So yeah, this is the 4-hour chart. You can see we regained that support level, and now we just seem to be playing around in that zone. So yeah, hopefully we can get supported here and move our way on up into the higher zone. We just had a little test into there. Well, test down first and test into there. If we look on a smaller time frame, you can see we had a little move down and move up, little stop hunt there basically, see if we could trigger some of the over leveraged longs before they're moving back up again. So it's just textbook Bitcoin price behavior. Look, same as this, but just on a smaller scale in the opposite direction. But yeah, so overall though, it's not looking so bad. Whilst ever we can hold this zone, whilst ever the lower whilst ever lower prices get rejected like they did here, then it's looking good. So it's looking good until it doesn't again. But we're creeping up towards getting supported in this zone. I wouldn't like to be a bear selling here thinking that we're going to come down. I mean, it doesn't seem the most likely scenario. But you can see 1-hour Stokes is turning down, 2-hour Stokes. Yeah, actually smaller time frames. I don't really look at these smaller time frames, but I've just started to put them on just so we can get like the smaller range moves. But yeah, 4 hours looking good as well. 8-hour will be, and then daily, the 12 hours still sort of flatlining really. It's interesting behavior here. We don't normally get like a period of flatlining like this if you look back on the 12-hour. So I'm pretty certain though, if we get back up above this 9,800 playing this zone, it's going to start curling back up, and I think that will be incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. Obviously getting over 9,800 will be bullish, will be very bullish anyway. And then we've sort of got this sort of mid-range level, mid-range between in this zone where we've got a lot of wicks up into. Whereas I think if you do look at this, we haven't really spent any time testing the underside of this resistance at all. I mean, we got rejected from it there. We wicked up to it. We broke straight through and then basically got rejected straight back down. We haven't spent any time here. So this is a really important level. And I believe, and it's not far from price now, if we get up to here, basically just, well, mid 9,900s, and play, and get, well, start to test this resistance here, then I think that will signal a lot of well, people to close short positions and then to actually put the pressure on to break us through. So I think if we get up here, if we spend time getting resisted here, that could be a really good potential buying opportunity we could even have you stop below here, just because the actual price movement, if we break through, could be pretty high basically. You'd expect to go up to 10,500 and then onwards on like a wick basis, and then we'll see where we get resisted or supported. But yeah, it's looking very interesting now. What I'm going to do now, obviously we played out this pennant, so I am actually going to sort of adjust it, because let me just turn off the drawing tools, because we could be forming a sort of ascending triangle. I have spoke about this ascending triangle before. It does pretty much come in confluence with the zone. Oh, we don't want to do that. It does pretty much come in confluence with the zone sort of that we are looking at now anyway. We'll move it along here just a little bit, so we are sort of like getting these tops of these wicks areas. But yeah, so we could be forming this, which does mean we've got a definite potential to come back down to test the lower side of this, and that would be perfectly acceptable. Just let me try and draw this on as best I can. I mean, it's quite elongated. Right, you guys can pretty much get the rough idea. I'm still not the greatest with these drawing tools. I mean, obviously it's elongated, but obviously we can compress it like that and make it look a bit different. But yeah, so potentially we're gonna sort of play this zone. We can kind of look at this as a bit of anomalous price action. I mean, we clearly broke lots of ranges to the high and lower side, and then we just carried on with the pattern as normal. So I don't believe I'm not personally, with my analysis, putting too much weight on this. I think this is just the occasional Wild West Bitcoin activity that comes into that we have to deal with every now and again. But yeah, so we've got this. So like I said, we can very easily break through now, which means it doesn't necessarily have to be an ascending triangle. But just if we don't and we get rejected, I'll be looking for support around obviously the lower side of the triangle, and then I believe if we get supported there, then that would give us the very high likelihood of us breaking through on the next move, and I think that would get a lot of people excited, a lot of shorts worried, and I think that would start to get people to pile into the market to the long side if we did that. But obviously we don't have to do that. We can just we can break straight through now. I mean, we're looking good. I mean, obviously you can't really look at it as an ascending triangle so much at the moment if we break through now. This is just if this happens. So if we break through now, we're not really looking for ascending triangle extensions, and we'll just be looking just to play the levels through. But these are very important horizontal levels, and if we take these out, and especially take this out, then I believe that would in my mind confirm the very high likelihood that we are just going to go on a big bull run, just because of just how charts work, basically, just how long-term patterns and trend lines work. So we are at a critical level in Bitcoin, really. So I mean, there's no wonder we're getting this sort of volatility, and even this sort of volatility, if you don't want to consider it as scammy at this level, because this was making a beeline here for breaking the long-term higher time frames. So it's not that surprising that I mean, this move here was fully predictable, and we did basically pretty much predict it in the video before it happened. But this slam down, whilst it may seem scammy, obviously because it's such a higher level long-term resistance level, it's not. Is obviously then you can expect moves like this, because you're getting big players come in wanting to do whatever business they're wanting to do at that level. So I mean, you could look at it not scammy in that respect, but that's kind of why I am disregarding it for this sort of analysis, because this sort of price action is not so relevant based on this sort of chart formation. That price action is basically predicated off this sort of whole longer term price move. We basically broke out of this massive longer term higher time frame pattern, and then got rejected back into it. So it was a fake out of the whole massive formation. So that's fine, and we can analyze it in that sense, but we're not basically looking for these short and medium term movements based off that massively higher time frame. So this is just something that's going to, and this is why higher time frames always take precedent over smaller time frames, but smaller time frames are the ones that you obviously look to for the more immediate price action. So that's where we're at with that. So yeah, we are looking bullish. We are looking to get supported at this zone. I mean, I do believe if we get up to about 9,000, about this level, I think we will break through, get into this zone and get supported here, because I don't think the amount of like wicks up here, if we manage to hold up here, that would be very bullish. So if we start basically seeing price action where we are, even trading in this zone, trading at or in this zone, then I think it will be very likely we'll break through. And I don't really expect us to do that and give us that opportunity to keep buying there. I think we will just go through. But that obviously remains to be seen. But then again, we have got this potential ascending triangle, which I would be looking for if we do start to come down and get rejected. I mean, a pretty obvious level would be obviously this support level we still got. Yeah, it was sort of the lows of these wicks, the 9,300s I was looking at, but we can probably just, I mean, because obviously we've got this sort of trending up in price action, we can probably move down the level we're sort of, the level we're sort of looking at, so maybe around maybe around the bottom of these candle closures, so maybe around the 9,500s level, mid 9,500s. I think if we basically take out 9,500, then I think we will take out this zone here as well, and then it's a case of, are we going to get supported at the bottom of the triangle, or we not? Are we not? So weekly time frame, let's look at the candle that we got printed. So there it was, a Darth Maul candle. Indecision candle, but obviously on the weekly 9. A lot of that predicated on the higher time frame move we saw the fake out above and below. So obviously this is not the greatest looking candle, but if we do trade up, especially above 10,000, it would still be looking bullish. Still be looking bullish on the weekly, and then clearly if we take, I mean, it's just another point of interest now at this level here. Look, 1, 2, 3 strikes there. It's if we take out the top of that wick, then I think it's onwards and upwards. It's basically bull run 2020 time. That's what I think with regards to that. Yeah, so that's it really. That's all I've really got for you guys today. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, as well, just a quick one. If you did want to have a look at follow me on TradingView, we had that trade. I'm going to start posting some of the trades on here, not all of them, but just some. But yeah, we had this one where we got there as well, and then I also noticed this Slack trade I had on last as well. Obviously I knew what happened to the Slack price, but I'd forgot that I'd posted it on here. But yeah, so if you can see, this was the idea, breaking this support. We're coming down to this this support line, and if you just click fast forward, yeah, obviously earnings slammed us down, and so we're in this zone, and I think we'll potentially come down and test this support zone before making a decision on moving up. So that was another great trade idea. The wheat futures one, we sort of had to fake out the top of the triangle. This is sort of like, if we look at this is sort of like potentially what we may be getting in Bitcoin. We've got an ascending triangle forming. We did have the big fake out above. Well, sorry, we didn't know it was a fake out when I printed it, but obviously once I press fast forward, now you can see it's a fake out. But look, again, we got supported by the bottom of the triangle, and then I would expect now for this to come up, break up, and then make the full potential move of the ascending triangle up to around this level. So again, this is similar to what we're looking at in Bitcoin, with the here we go, with the ascending triangle. We sort of broke out above, come back down and test the bottom again, and then, well, obviously we haven't done that yet in wheat futures, and we may not even do that in wheat futures. I mean, it doesn't have to, but you get the concept, the concept of what we're looking at. What is the higher probability move anyway? So anyway, that's it for this morning. And watch out for my other videos on traditional markets and forex, because they're coming up soon. Thanks for listening, guys, and remember, not a financial advisor, not a financial advisor, and I'll speak to you all soon.